Alrighty, y'all. Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is Friday. The weekend is here. I absolutely love Fridays. You know that. We always have fun, and that's what we're going to do. We're starting it off with exploring Europe until it's ugly, and this time we've finalized it, okay? People have spoken. We want a country spinner, so that's what we're going to do, right? It's going to spin a wheel. It's going to pick a country by random, and we're going to really deep dive into that country, see what it's all about, and then unfortunately, if I see somewhere really ugly, the video ends. So yes, we're going to be doing lots of episodes of this. I'll try to put at least one of these up a week. I have a blast with these. Let's go. All right, so going to the country picker wheel. It's the first time I've ever done this. We have it set to Europe naturally. Here we go. This should be exciting. Where's it going to land? Sweden, let's go. Okay, Sweden, you're on deck. That's virtually travel right now to Sweden and see what it's about. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up Sweden. We have the map of Europe here. All right, there it is. There is Sweden. Let's see. Beautiful country. All right, and we have, of course, surrounded by water. You know what? Sweden's pretty big, right? Look at the north. Look at all the way down here. It comes pretty far down, which is interesting. Of course, you know, Stockholm, arguably being the most famous city, is way down here by the water. Great location. That's kind of just start going random here. So let's put the man down. Okay, luckily we have good coverage of the country. Let's start somewhere up here, and we'll kind of work our way down. If we don't find anywhere ugly first. Here we go. Just clicked somewhere random. Here we are, guys. And it didn't even put us on a street. It's a picture. It's a nice picture, though. I'll give them that. Not ugly, so we're safe for now. Okay, going back, here we are. Let's go zoom in a little bit. Yeah, Sweden's actually pretty big. It actually is pretty big. Let's see. Of course, I don't know any of these towns whatsoever. Let's go by this. Pattaya. I'm probably saying it wrong. Is this a glitch? We're not on a street again. Hold on. Let me make sure this is not glitching out on me. We're going to zoom in this time. Okay, this was glitching out. It's not letting me click Street View, so let's try it again. Yeah, it's not letting me click Street View here. In this town, there's no Street View. Look, it's all pictures. Let's see. All right, we're going to have to go here to what looks to be a little bit of a bigger city. I have realized that Swedish is interesting, to put it nicely. The town names of Sweden are making me feel kind of dumb. I don't have any idea on how to even attempt to pronounce some of these. I'm just saying. Okay, guys, I have never seen this in my life. I have never seen where you click on Street View and it just gives you pictures. I've never seen that until today on camera. Is this a Sweden only thing? We're going to zoom out. We're going to try it somewhere else just to even see. Right? So, like, I know, let's see. We click on random streets in Germany. Okay, this is... All right, you got to see it on video. We're on Google Earth now. Google Maps is having an absolute glitch meltdown. It's only letting me see pictures, as you saw. It will not let me access any Street View. I click on streets, and it pulls up Street View, and then goes to pictures. It's, like, broken, very bizarre. So, we're going to Google Earth now. And I hope this works. Fingers crossed. If it doesn't, then this video will never see the light of day. So we are in Sweden again. Let's try this again, shall we? Let's go back to where we were. And you know what? That actually doesn't matter because Pattaya is not even in Sweden, according to the lines here. Oh no, it is actually. I don't care. I'm going there. Let's see if it pulls up a picture. Wow, it actually pulls up Street View. Like we wanted all along. Interesting, huh? Okay, I am just going to say this firsthand. I love these because it's so beyond fascinating to see these countries up close on the ground. It's like the best thing ever, honestly. Also, I'm going to switch to this view. I feel like you get like, so it's not skewed or the ratio's not wrong. And I'm right here in the corner. I hope that's okay. If you guys hate this, please tell me in the comments if you want it done the first way where it's more half and half. I tend to like this view because then you can kind of see all the information. You can see when like the pictures are from and all that. So anyway, let's go ahead. Sweden, absolutely fascinating. We have a Volvo in the driveway. How fitting. Bicycles out as well. And you know what? We are in Northern Europe, so we talk about homes a lot, especially lately. And what's interesting is homes in Sweden, actually, there's a brick home. Unless it's a brick facade, but I think it's probably a brick home. But a lot of the homes in up north here are actually wood, which is kind of interesting, right? They're timber houses. There might be some differences, though, compared to here in the U.S., but I at least think that's interesting to see houses that look a little more familiar to what I would see than somewhere in Southern Europe, for example. So yeah, look at this guy. He's got some cool collection of Volkswagens. I love this Beetle here. It's actually awesome. And let's just look around for just a second. I'm going to move on quickly because this area is pretty cool. Now, this dead ends. And I was going to say, can we call this ugly? No, there's nothing ugly about it. I mean, there's this little, I don't know what that is, dumpster or something that's spray painted. But you know what? Where isn't there a dumpster that's spray painted? That's not such a bad thing. It's kind of hard to avoid in any city with population. So yeah, other than that, this is absolutely charming. Very, very cute place we're in here. So we're on kind of like I suppose this would be a highway. Let's go ahead and pull this back. Let's click actually in the towns. See, it turned me around again. I just find that so interesting, Google. So interesting. Anyhow, here we go. Lots of solar panels, right? Those are solar, I believe so. Yeah, these are just cute towns, man. Right? Not ugly at all. All right, let's get back to it. My wife called. All right, so we're all good there. Let's turn this back on. Let's hope we have no issues. This is odd. I've had a lot of random little issues here with the street view. Maybe there's not a lot of street view in Sweden, even though it looks like there is. You know, where is ugly in Sweden? I feel like it's going to be hard to find. You know, I don't at least think of Sweden as like really run down and rusty and gross, but who knows? I don't know. We have to find somewhere that is. How about Karlstad? Karlstad. I don't know how it's pronounced. Let's take a gander up here. Okay, what do we got? You know what? This is not ugly. This is pretty nice. Pretty nice. I mean, we got a little bit of melted snow on the ground. Look at the signs. I love it. The signs are good quality. Wow, they're all clean and bright, as they should be, right? Subaru, Volvo, nice. Love to see it. This is kind of cool. I didn't notice. I haven't been on here in a while. They have different street views. So look at 2010, 2019. Looks a little different, doesn't it? There's some differences with the trees or something, right? Is this ugly? No, it's not. Oh my goodness, how is this possible? You guys had these? Hold on, I'm car spotting. You had Chevrolet Trailblazers? I had no idea. That's hilarious. Now, you know what's funny? And I need to make maybe a separate video on this. Here in the northern U.S., in certain states, cars just absolutely are like a disease. They get rusted out so freaking bad, right? It's almost like you can hear them rusting if they sit in your driveway, right? And so, you know, there's not many of these Trailblazers left from the early 2000s around me. Not because they were terrible vehicles, it's just because they're rusted out, right? And here is literally like what looks to be like a 2004 Chevy Trailblazer in Sweden. And Sweden's not like a hot tropical climate, right? Could be warm maybe in summer, but it could be cold and snowy and rainy in other parts of the year. And yet somehow this thing is clean as a whistle. So I'm not seeing really any cars rusted out. The worst I've seen is this car right here. And this is it. Look at that. Just one little spot. That would be a dream in Illinois. Cars are literally rusting in half around here, and that rust spot is literally nothing to worry about. But maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe cars do rust. I'm just having trouble finding them. But yeah, look at, we have some construction going on around here. It is cool because I've never seen Street View in my life with so many Swedish cars. I mean, yeah, we're in Sweden, and that's kind of the point. They like a variety of cars, but they like their Swedish cars. I mean, there's Volvos and Saabs everywhere. I've never seen so many in a stretch of road in my life. Alrighty, so zooming back out. Let's fix our compass again. Thank you. Let's go down here, perhaps, right? What's it like in far southern Sweden? How about, what is this called? Savsho? Savzo. I don't know. I'm probably saying that horribly wrong. Don't worry, you can laugh at me. It's okay. Here we go. Now, I will say this, and I don't mean this in a bad way. Look at that cool spiral staircase. Sorry to interrupt myself. That is actually really neat. I will say this. Sweden is looking like Sweden in all of these towns. And what I mean by that is it all looks not the same, right? I'm not saying like, oh, it's all the same. What a joke. Like, no, I'm not saying that. But it looks like, you know, a design language, right? Like Sweden, all these Swedish towns resemble each other, if that makes sense. So there's clearly, you know, some criteria for like a Swedish village, right? And that's normally what you would see in any country. And I'm just reinforcing that, yes, all of these remind me that I'm in Sweden. They all kind of feel similar, if that makes sense. Here it looks to be a brand new repaved road and a little bit of, may I say, almost an ugly playground. I don't mean to be mean. I mean, playgrounds are cool, but it's not very colorful and bright. It looks a little freaky. I don't think it's enough to end the video, but I will say it is a little bit of a, like not the best playground I've ever seen. It's pretty fascinating though. There's a couple contraptions here that seem like they're, you know, intriguing. They could be kind of fun. Hell, I could even be tangled up in here. I can see this being a little bit challenging when you were, or when I was a kid rather. So yeah, we won't end it there. That wouldn't be fair, I don't think, because the rest of this area is rather nice. The grass gets very nice and green in Sweden, very lush in the summer months. Like Copenhagen is part of Denmark, right? That's over here. So is this Sweden right here? Let's see what this is like. This is a Malmo. Ooh, we got a game of hoops going on. Interesting. That's cool. Of course, this is a photosphere. We want streets. All these are nice sunny days. It actually seems like there's a lot of sunshine in Sweden. Except, of course, right when I say that, it's a little cloudier. But this, honestly, like the first clouded shot we've seen, pretty much. What is this on the ground? Bonus points if anyone knows what this is. That's interesting. What does this say? Something that I'm not even going to try because I'm just going to sound silly. We got some modern, what look to be apartments perhaps, or offices. Ooh, big jump there. Oh, hold on, hold on. Oh no, is this under construction? See, I tend to not try to, look at this little, oh, that's for the bicycles. You guys have stoplights for bicycles. I love it. Yeah, the US would never, right? Yeah, see, I tend to not count construction stuff as ugly, right? Because like if it's under construction, they're literally getting rid of stuff and renovating it or getting something new up, correct? Look at this. We have a big shopping center or a store, perhaps, Willie's. Now that's kind of cool. And we even have a Domino's pizza in there and a 24/7 fitness. Love it. Yeah, you know what? This is maybe the first slightly rundown area. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like the most beautiful, right? But it's kind of in the middle. Like, this is clearly newer buildings here that look nice, right, and clean. So maybe they're slowly kind of, you know, sprucing up this area a little bit. Look at this dollar store. You guys have dollar stores. I mean, why wouldn't you? That's actually kind of cool. And maybe there's like a Halloween promotion going on. That's pretty interesting. This is from October 2025, according to our data down there. Yeah, just lots of construction, lots of pallets. So perhaps somewhat industrial area and stuff being redone. But you know what? I think we're going to move to a different parts because I'm not seeing anything terribly ugly. So I think this is going to be hard. That's what I'm noticing. It's hard to find straight up ugly places in Europe. I mean, they exist, but they're few and far between. So if we zoom back out, where do we go in Sweden? I guess we can look around Stockholm, right? Stockholm's big. Again, I don't think of it as like a, you know, ugly city or anything, but it's big. So maybe there is some less than ideal areas. You would think anyway. Let's see if we could tell from the sky, right? I really can't tell. A lot of it looks pretty cool. I'm assuming the Stockholm metro area is pretty big, right? You know, where's the rough area, guys? I know you're probably shouting at your screen right now. I can't hear you. Let's see. We are in the all-famous Stockholm area now. You know what? This is going to be tough. I mean, this just looks nice, right? Nothing bad going on. We have a nice motorway here underneath the overpass there. Look at these buildings. Now, this is interesting, right? All the, it's just different. Like when you have a big building, you just have all the logos like right there on the front of the building. Whereas I guess here you would have either this big building would just be for one business and they would have the logo at the top, or if it was a building that encompasses multiple things, I guess they tend to have like a sign with all of them and they leave the logos off the building itself. I think that's just like a fun little difference, right? You see all of these businesses in here. I mean, all these roads are nice for, you know, again, a cold, snowy climate. I love that Volvo truck we just saw there. Ooh, hello. Looks like we have a husky or a Malamute, perhaps. I think it's a husky. Very cool. Beautiful dogs. Cool buildings. I mean, this is the opposite of ugly. We're finding cool places in Stockholm here. Look at Coca-Cola. God, they are advertised everywhere, aren't they? Seems like almost every country on earth. Cafe Electra. Again, I would love to see the comments if you recognize some of these. This is what I love. This is what I love. As an American, I've never seen a fuel station like this. Not even close. We have this big building, right? And somehow they're just like, yep, let's put a gas station up in the corner. And it's like underneath the building, right? I almost didn't even notice it, but they have the sign up here with the prices. E85, 95, and D. I guess D would be diesel, correct? Of course, don't ask an American to decipher these prices. Yeah, and it's probably in liters. Yeah, I'm allergic to those. I don't know how those work. Anyhow, yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, that's a tight squeeze, right? I mean, you're coming down the road. You're like, you know what? I need to get fuel right now. You got to kind of pull off and really sneak in there. So if you're having one of these big American trucks, it's just not going to happen. Now I see why you guys don't drive those. I wouldn't even be able to get fuel if you had the average American pickup. No, but that is really cool. That is like so interesting. It's interesting, and it also looks challenging. I'll be honest. Again, another building with some different logos and such. Yeah, that's kind of how they all are. You know what, guys? I'm not finding anything ugly. We're going to stay in Stockholm, but we're going to back it up a little bit, our view, and see if we can find somewhere else. Okay, so we're still in Stockholm. That's... All right, let's see. Let's do... So we were down here. Let's go, like, over here a little bit. See what it's like. I doubt this will be ugly. I mean, it might be. We're going to see right now. How about over here? Let's see what it looks like. So this is, like, west side Sweden. Or Stockholm, rather. I mean, again, this just looks like a cute Swedish village here. We have the older houses. Look at that. Tons of cars parked in the street. Wow, tons. There must be a park or something nearby, right? I don't know how that works. Or maybe that's just parking for these living spaces. If so, that's a little bit of a pain, but not the end of the world. We'll try a couple more places in Stockholm, and if it doesn't work, I'm not sure what we're going to do. Okay, we have a national park down here. I bet that's really cool. I'm not going to click there because national parks are not going to be ugly. That's not how that works, right? Let's see what this is like. Like maybe is this like an upscale Swedish neighborhood? I don't know. I don't know if it's upscale or not. You'd have to let me know. It's just fun to see the difference, right? Like I could see that this resembles a neighborhood, but it's also so different than, the neighborhoods in the US, right? Tons of signs that I realize, like, I don't even know what they mean. Like, what does this sign even mean? Does that mean like a speed bump or something? That's my best guess. I'm just probably wrong though. Obviously, I know what the crosswalk sign means. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm just not seeing anything ugly yet. This is really fun though. Ooh, look at this. We have a golf course. That's pretty cool. I should do that. I should look at golf courses on Google Earth and stuff in some different places. Look at that. We have another sporting field. I'm assuming that's football or what we would call soccer. Of course, we have a track. Actually, it's two fields right next to each other. What is this? Perhaps a practice field and a main field, maybe? Or vice versa. I'm not sure. We even have clay tennis courts. And get out of town. That is awesome. Wow. That perhaps this is a university, yeah? Or maybe it's just a really nice public park. I'm not really sure. All right, Stockholm, you got to give us something here. We're going to go north side because I guess we really haven't done that yet. So let's check out north side Stockholm. Let's see if it gets ugly in here. Let's take a look. Ooh, this is cool. Not ugly at all. That's the most interesting 7-Eleven I've seen in a while. Didn't expect to see one of those, but here we are. And just a reminder that we are indeed in Sweden. Good. I was making sure. I was wondering. This is clearly a touristy place because we have people all over. And we have tons of souvenirs. Take a look at that. Dude, I can't wait to go to some of these places, man. This is going to be fun, right? Shop tax-free. I don't even know how that works. That sounds interesting, though. Aw, look at we're buckling the kid that looks like they fell asleep. I know how that goes in the stroller. Yeah, this is a happening place. And I love it. Look, no streets, right? There's no cars in sight. You can walk. You don't really have to worry about anything. This is from 24. Let's take a look what it looked like in 2017. And because it's downtown in a major city in Europe, it looked the same. Wouldn't you know? I mean, you could probably click on this from 1916 and the buildings would still be the same. That's kind of the fascinating part, isn't it? And what do you know? It's still a popular place in 2024 as it was in 2017. Let's see if these souvenirs change, though, at Old Town. Ready? Ooh, I don't know. I think they did change a little bit. They got rid of their outside displays that they had in 2017. I wonder why. Maybe people were messing with them, stealing stuff. I have no idea. Or maybe it was just they were like, you know what? You got to come in to get your stuff from now on. Let's zoom in a little bit, shall we? Yeah, even the displays in the window changed a little bit, which you're probably thinking, duh, of course they did. Hey, you're right. I'm trying to keep it fun here. I'm trying to see what changed, and it all changed, and that's not a surprise because they were, almost 8 years apart. I could look at that all day. That's really cool. Hold on. What is this? What is this? That is so freaking cool. Turn on the 3D. Whoa. That is awesome. We got to look at a photosphere in here. What the heck? How fascinating. It's like perfectly round. There's a fountain in the middle. This probably has some significance. You guys got to let me know. Right? These are all different photos, I suppose. We have a woman up there and a woman right there and a couple dogs. Oh, I gotta be honest. This is getting tough, right? It really is. I feel like that's it's a compliment. When I can't find somewhere ugly, it really is a compliment. I actually accidentally clicked there, so we're gonna back right out. Is this ugly? No, it's not. It's cool. Of course it is. It's actually really pretty. You can see some hills in the distance there. Greenery, tall trees. Oh, man, this is tough. I thought we were going to find something in Stockholm there. And perhaps there was. Perhaps we were right next to something and we just didn't know it. But we will have to find that out. Here's Gothenburg. Seems like kind of a interesting name. Let's find out if we can find somewhere ugly. Maybe, this is kind of industrial. But, if it's ugly, right? I don't know. I'm gonna take a chance. Here we go. Give me something ugly. Not as bad as I would have thought. Although we finally saw a little bit of rust. Good. I was gonna say, if you guys don't have any rust up there, and we do here, I would be kind of like jealous, right? I'd be like, there's something up with that. These guys looking at the Google vehicle like, yo, what is that? Right? Perhaps they're on break or something. Maybe they work around here. Ooh, look at what we found. How cool. We found some Swedish fire trucks. That's not ugly at all. That's actually super cool. Look at pickups, vans, big MAN units there for the full-on fire. The fire units. Wow, this is cool. Yeah, this is like an industrial area. Perhaps a little shopping in here as well. All right, going ahead. Look at this. We have car dealers. Car dealers look a lot different as well. Right? Is this like a Mazda and a Hyundai dealership? It must be. God, nothing ugly though. Nothing ugly at all. We have Swedish colors down there. Love to see it. A Scania, of course. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more of those. That's an awesome truck. That one right there. What the hell is this? Yankee Car 66? Amerikanska Bildelar. What the hell is that? What's this supposed to be, an American taxi or something? That is so funny. Please, someone in the comments, tell me what this is. Is this like an American car dealer? Is it an American car museum? Like, what is this? This is so fascinating. I don't know, but I'm going to have to zoom back out. I would be absolutely lost. Look at this, though. How about it? How about it? We have Husqvarna. Now, I actually have some Husqvarna products when it comes to, like, some big tools, or I guess more like landscaping type stuff. And good stuff. Good products, let me say, because they've been extremely reliable and, like, just faithful. Like, great products. They've started in the cold, the heat, everything. So, yeah, I actually like that brand a lot. I feel like they're super quality. And I believe, like, 99% sure they're Swedish. So, not surprised to see one of their little dealerships there. We have a fascinating looking RV. Not one like I've ever seen here. Just so I can be reminded that there are ugly places there, or maybe every square centimeter of Sweden is beautiful. I'm not sure. So let's do this for my own peace of mind. Ugly places in Sweden. Of course, this pulls up places we were. We were in Malmo, which I'm probably saying wrong. Stockholm. We were in those places. We weren't in these. It says industrial architecture, concrete heavy. They weren't really ugly, though. They weren't beautiful, right? It's not like we were in Rome or something, but it's not like, I've seen uglier places than what we saw in the U.S. You know what I mean? Let's see what it pulls up. Is this what we're going to have to go for? Yeah, that's kind of ugly, but I don't know. That's one building that, like, everyone's pulling up. You see this? So how was I supposed to find that? Let's get real. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. When we were in downtown Stockholm on foot, right, everyone was by the shops. That was pretty. It wasn't ugly at all. I guess this is as good as you're going to get. We saw buildings like this. In winter, when it's gray, everything's going to look a little more ugly. But I guess we're going to have to go on this. Because, you know what? This picture, I guess it does look ugly with the kind of trash in the foreground there. But the building itself, do you see how it's kind of clean? It's not like broken apart, run down. There are literally buildings within very close drive of me that are like falling apart and they look like total shit, right? And this doesn't. So maybe my perspective is wrong. All right, so let's go back to the map. I'm going to go to Stockholm. I'm going to click on, I don't know where these things were, by the way, but I'm going to try and find these tall buildings and just see if we can replicate even something halfway ugly so we can end this video. Otherwise, it might be, my back's hurting. It might be hours. So we need somewhere kind of gray looking, industrial, ugly, right? Where do I go? Damn. I mean, honestly, I guess it's all perspective and taste. I feel like Stockholm is not ugly at all. Now, this is curious. Those markings look very much like an American football field. I see soccer markings, like a soccer field, but I also see 10, 20, 30. You see what I'm saying? How on earth would there be a American football field here? That is absolutely fascinating. And it's a freaking hockey rink. Damn, this just does it all, this stadium. You know, this is probably an older building, but I have places around me that would be old like this, and they're much more run down. All right, let's go like over here. Yeah, not ugly at all. I mean, look at this. This is actually beautiful. I'm just not sure, like, how Google even pulls up, like, oh, there's all this concrete, ugly architecture, you know, brutalist architecture. Like, I'm not seeing it, right? I'm just not finding it anywhere, right? I mean, this is super cool, honestly. Look at that. How could I call this ugly? You can't. Wow, look at this. Malmo Raceway? Home of Speed? How freaking cool is that? I'm supposed to find somewhere ugly, and I found a freaking a raceway of some sort. What is it, a drag strip? Where's the raceway? I'm a little bit confused, but it's cool. I'll say that. Because look, I don't see it on it. What are we looking at here? Oh, it is a drag strip. It's down here. Oh, that is freaking awesome. And it doesn't have street view, sadly, but that's okay. Ugliest town in Sweden. At this point, I'm desperate, so we're cheating pretty much. Kupolin. Ugliest town. All right, let's see. I don't know, you know, I don't know what their criteria is. Kupolin, here we go. Where is it? Right there. I don't know how they said this was ugly, but, you know, let's trust them. Here we go. Let's see what the hell this is about. I don't understand. I mean, there's a McDonald's here, a Lager 157. Geez, you know, I don't know if I'm crazy or what. There's an IKEA. How cool is that, dude? Can't call IKEA ugly. You know, I don't get it, right? If Google's saying this is ugly, so be it. I don't think this is ugly just because it's like these concrete buildings, right? I'm not so sure. So let me tell you in conclusion here. When you Google ugly places in Sweden, it's only pulling up specific examples of buildings, right? They're a little brutalist, they're concrete. You'll notice how none of these buildings are actually falling apart or halfway, you know, absorbed into the earth or anything, right? We're not seeing any of that, right? I think that Sweden is in spectacular shape, it seems like. It's well kept. I think it's impressive. If I show you ugly places in the USA, look what comes up. It's going to look a lot more... I'm sorry, it's going to look uglier, right? Let me just show you. Ugly places in the USA. Okay, we're going to see... So, I mean, look at this, right? It's going to be all over the place. Obviously, the USA is really big, and there's lots of different, you know, places, but there you go. I mean, that's ugly. That's a mess, right? We have this. This is what I'm looking for. This is disgusting, right? Overgrown, messy, crazy, smog, you name it, right? I mean, again, look at this. Absolute mess. You know what I mean? Like, this is the U.S. I mean, look at that. That's actually ugly to me. And I'm just having trouble finding that in the U.S. Or, I'm sorry. It's very easy to find in the U.S. I'm having trouble finding this in Sweden. Look at these ugly buildings. You see what I'm saying? This is normal. You see these in big cities in the U.S. Outdated, ugly places that are falling apart. You still see this to this day in the U.S. Quite often. I mean, you have just absolute, you know, crap holes of properties. You just kind of get it all. Now, of course, there's absolutely beautiful places here too, but I just want to kind of get that across. If we go back to ugly places in Sweden, I'm sorry. Am I crazy for thinking that these just don't compare? Like here, this is the ugliest building, but how do we find this? Right? Like, how do I find this? Of course, it's some long word that I'm going to copy this. Let's paste it and see what it does. And it doesn't even work. Okay, where's this taking us? It's taking us over here. So let's see if we can check this out. Okay. That doesn't look like the building we need. Let's see if it's this one. Okay. Okay, here we are. Yeah, it's not pulling up what I need here. You see what I'm saying? I mean, this is pretty, this area. I who would call this ugly, right? Holy shit. We just glitched through some underground shit. Oh my god, I'm frightened. Look at this. I'm gonna end it there. Whew, I'm creeped out. I just got abducted in Google Earth. That's it. It should be interesting comments. If you made it through however long this damn video is, give yourself a high five and a thumbs up from me. You're awesome. What an episode. Sweden's pretty cool. And except for the end, I just got abducted underground. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.